So in an effort to combat the spread of COVID-19, you're probably quarantined. You've been told to practice social distancing. You may be off work, maybe you're working from home, maybe you go to school and now you're taking school online to fight this virus. To put it simply, you might have a little bit more time to yourself than you did before. And so how are you going to use that time? Well, you could sleep in, watch movies, binge watch TV, or all of the above. But what if you were to use that time wisely? Time is something that we simply cannot get back. It cannot be replaced. We cannot buy it. So I've actually compiled a list of the top 7 things that you can do to stay productive during your quarantine. And you really don't want to stick around for number 7. I'm leaving that best one for last because it's something that is so simple yet so effective, yet none of us really do it. Number 1, how about some DIYs? You may realize now that it's more than just a light bulb that needs fixing. The more time you're spending at home, the more you're realizing how much there is to be done. So with all this time in your hands, there's no better time to start filtering through all those odd jobs that you never got around to. It's time to start checking things off your to-do list. Maybe it's time to repaint the cabinets or start drilling a hole in the wall to start hanging up a mirror that you never got around to. There's something that you can do. Maybe you never got around to building those bookcases or setting up that shelf. There's something around you, some DIY tasks that you can complete whilst yourself isolating. And there's more than just the reward of completing the task itself. Perhaps when you do one thing, it will create a domino effect and you'll feel a lot more motivated and excited to complete other errands that you just put away for a long time. When we're organized, we feel optimistic, we feel grateful, and it just reaps a lot more rewards than just that one task itself. And number 2, you knew it was coming, indoor workouts and getting healthy. You've been meaning to do it for a while now, and as we all know, the diet starts next week, right? But as the saying goes, there's no time like the present. So what better place to do it than your own home, so that way you don't have to feel embarrassed or shameful, not that you should, of going to the gym and facing everyone else there. Perhaps you'll avoid some awkward eye contact and save yourself from some embarrassment of not knowing how to work out that machine. You can do some effective at-home workouts, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stay indoors. Perhaps it just means going for that jog, going for that walk, going for that run, but of course practicing social distancing while you're at it. And if you're worried about money, then just look up some easy to follow guides on YouTube and Google. You're not going to want to follow my channel when it comes to workout and exercise recommendations. But be sure that you do hit that like button if you're liking the video so far, and you subscribe so that way you don't miss any future videos. A healthy body is a healthy mind, and for most people, as you might know, most people blame their busy schedules as to why they can't find time to stay in shape. So this is the best time to pay attention to your health. For those of you that do already regularly go to the gym, make some room at your place to have room for a at-home gym. You can create just a simple workout routine, and most importantly, be sure that you stick to it. There are so many exercises that you can do with something as basic as just a chair. Number 3, family time. Perhaps not everyone will enjoy it, and maybe it does have a time limit, but what's more beautiful than coming together as a family? Perhaps minus some bickering and fighting and maybe some constant he said, she said, but now's a good time to dust off the Monopoly and Scrabble boards and come together. Catch up and reconnect at a time where most people were probably caught up with their work and office. When you think of it, at any normal period of the year, we might rarely find any time to talk to our family. Make the most of your time, and maybe if you have a family pet, now's a good time to bathe, feed, and groom it. It's not only just a short-term gain, it won't just recharge you for the day, but you'll feel happy about it for a long time. And if your relatives don't live near you, now's a good time to bust out those computers, set it up on the kitchen table, and start FaceTiming and Skyping them. While we might be physically social distancing, we're not necessarily disconnected. In this digital age, you could speak to anyone, you could text anyone, you can call anyone. Now is the time to do it. Plus, a lot of elderly people especially might feel isolated during this time of quarantine, so now is a good time to let them know that you're there for them. Number 4, take some online courses. If you feel that you need something to keep your brain stimulated, there is an abundance of courses and online info and knowledge right at your fingertips. Whether it's free or paid, you might come across a passion that you didn't even know that you had. There are a variety of subjects to feed your mind, so pick up on something that you've been meaning to learn or look into. Now is the time to do it, and if not now, then when? Look into courses on something like marketing and starting a business on the side from home. That way, if this were to ever happen again, and even if it never did happen again in your entire lifetime, you will still have a way to make some extra passive income. Now is the time to start working on those high income skills like persuasion, marketing, selling. Now is the time to start up that blog or YouTube channel that you were always meaning to do. Number 5, start a hobby. Maybe it just means utilizing this time to start a hobby like playing the guitar. Maybe you want to learn how to dance or develop your drawing or cooking skills, anything of that nature. Having an extra hobby is always a plus point, and it's never too late to start one, no matter your age. This will also help get your mind off things, turn off that TV, and maybe relieve any stress you might be feeling right now especially. It's a very uncertain, fearful time, and starting a hobby will help you relax, simmer down, and just focus on the meaningful things in life. Number 6, complete that long pending book that you've been wanting to read. I think we've all left a book half read, or maybe not even read the first page because of not having enough time available. This is the best time to start catching up on your favorite drama series or thriller series, or maybe it's a self-help, whatever kind of niche or genre that you like reading. Find yourself a cozy corner in your home and immerse yourself in your favorite books. I actually did a video a long time ago. This was in the early days of my channel, where I actually gave some of my top business, investing, and finance book recommendations. I'll link that down below. It's an old video. Those recommendations, those are my top favorite books, actually of all time, really, of any books, and they really have helped me, and I found great value in them, and I read them multiple times as well. Reading is another great way to ease your mind and get back into the swing of things. And number 7, I had to save the best for last. It's as simple as thinking. Think. Zoom out and zoom in on your life. Are you at where you are right now? What could you be doing better? Where could you be improving on? Are you caught up on your bills and expenses? Have you thought about your future? Now that you may have some time on your hands, think about where you actually do use most of your time normally. Are you wasting time on petty, trivial things that will never bring you any benefit or value? Are you flushing time down the drain, wasting it with negative people that are only trying to hinder you and stop you from growing? Warren Buffett himself is a strong proponent of thinking. This is a direct quote from Warren Buffett himself. He says, and I quote, "I insist on a lot of time being spent almost every day to just sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business. I read and think. So I do more reading and thinking and make less impulse decisions than most people in business." Think about your legacy. Think about the generation that will come after you. If you were to go right now, would you be happy with where your life is? Are you satisfied with what you've accomplished so far? Are you setting goals large enough? Where were you 10 years ago? Where are you now? And where do you think you'll be in 10 years from now? Frankly, these are all things to simply just sit and think about, and I can make a list of 1,000 more. Folks, the reality is most of us are going to have some extra time on our hands, and you are going to want to use that time wisely and productively. Time is the ultimate currency that none of us will ever get back. Doing these 7 things will relieve some stress, improve your lifestyle, and help you along the way. And it doesn't just mean practice them now. Practice them all the time. I'm curious to know how you're going to be using this time. Tell me down in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear. Are you going to be using it to catch up on something? Are you going to be using it productively and wisely? Tell me all down in the comments below. Let's talk. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see more videos from my channel, I post videos every single week covering business, finance, entrepreneurship, mindset, strategy, and tips and tricks from my own experience. Be sure that you do subscribe. I post lots of videos every single week now, even more than I did before. And so you're not going to miss any future videos. And be sure that you hit that little notification bell as well. That will just notify you every single time I make a new one so that you're first in line to see it. And that way you won't miss it. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.